What's poppin', you guys? Welcome back to my channel. It's DAMNSHEJAMAICAN, and today I'm going to be talking about 15 signs that you probably are an empath. Alright, so basically, what is an empath? An empath is a person that's super empathetic, a person that can understand people's emotions, their feelings, and someone that is super attuned to energy, and just basically they know how to read people. Alright, so just jumping into the signs that you are an empath. So the first sign is that you are a person that has a deep sense of empathy. You personally care for other people's feelings and you don't want to see people hurt. Like, you're not the type of person that wants to just naturally see someone hurt, or you're not like super envious or jealous of people. Like, you generally just want to see people do good in their lives, you know? And also with this deep sense of empathy is that you can naturally just feel when someone needs your help with something, or when someone just isn't feeling right. Alright, so sign number 2 is that you're very intuitive. Like, you know exactly how someone's feeling. You can read and pick up on people's thoughts very well. Like, you'll know when someone's lying about something, if someone's been through a breakup, or you know, just something that someone's dealing with deep down. You'll just be able to pick up on that very well. Like, you're very intuitive. You know when things are gonna happen before it even does, or if it's not even the exact event, you just know like when something is about to happen, or you could just feel. You're just very intuitive with people. You just know how to pick up so well when someone's lying or being truthful. So sign number 3 is that you can pick up on people's moods very well. You can pick up on the mood in a room. You can pick up on people's energy. Like, you just know when something is off. Like, even if you personally aren't consciously aware of the fact that you're doing this, you'll just be able, like, when you walk in a room, you'll just know that like something's going on or something. Sign number 4 that you're an empath is that you may be super compassionate and super passive at the same time, because you always want to keep in a harmonious energy, and you don't really like to fight with people or fuss with people. So you might end up being very like soft and compassionate, and people may try and take advantage of you for that, because you don't like to see things go bad. You don't like to stir up negative emotions or negative energy. You just like to be a very harmonious person overall. And if something is happening to you, or say you're arguing with somebody or something's going on, like, you'll rather just like talk it out and not be someone that wants to quickly get up and argue with that person. You're just more passive. You know, you know how to work out issues and resolve issues by coming from a place of understanding and a place of compassion, and still being able to resolve a situation in a harmonious way. Another thing is you may be super sensitive to energy in animals and other inanimate objects, and also events and situations that take place in the world. Like, everything is energy, so people that are empathetic know how to pick up energy from not only people but also animals and things in their room. Like, they can sense like if say your room's dirty or messy, like your energy might feel off because your room, you know, like the feng shui in your room isn't flowing so much clearly. Like, if you have a messy room and you're an empath, you might have to clean your room very often, or you might need to like throw away certain things, you know, lighten up the vibe of your room so that you're not like overwhelmed by all these heavy and junk or things that are just not needed in your environment. So that could really have an effect on you energetically, because you pick up so well on just energy, period. It doesn't matter if it's within people. It's within people, places, things, animals, everything. So with animals, like, you might be able, like, say you're seeing a dog getting walked down the street, like, you might be able to sense that that owner is like bad for the dog, or like, you know, or treats the dog unfairly. Or you could just pick up on like if a dog's hungry or something, like if a cat needs to be fed. Like, you are the type of person that can communicate with animals, like even birds. Like, I communicate with birds frequently. Like, for people that are empathetic, you are so aware and attuned with energy. It's easy for you to get to grasp this concept of being able to communicate with other species, you know? That's a very simple and easy thing for empaths. Okay, so the sixth sign that you may be an empath is if you try to eat healthy. You try to eat a vegan or vegetarian diet. You try to eat more clean. You understand that you are what you eat, and you also understand energy and the form it comes in food. So you might be a person that doesn't want to eat meat because you understand that, you know, the torture and all these things that go on. You don't want to carry on those energies with you. You might be an empath if you specifically don't eat meat. You might not even want to participate in just the overall torture of the animals and killing animals, period. So you might just opt out of eating meat and just become strictly vegan or vegetarian. And if you are empathetic, you might just strictly be vegan, because being vegetarian is like you still eat dairy and it's still, you know, you still are dealing with animal products. So maybe if you're vegetarian, you're just weaving yourself off of meat a little bit in order to transition into that vegan diet. So that's one thing empaths really care about. They really care about what's on their plate, and they care about humanity so much. They don't just care about people in the world. They care about the animals. They care about every living species, and they really do care, and they're very passionate about these things. Okay, sign number 7, which is one of my favorites, is that you can read body language very well. Like, you'll know exactly why someone's like fidgeting or acting funny. Like for me, like a good example is like if someone's like, say I'm like in a secluded area with someone and my breath stinks or something, and they're acting kind of funny. Like, I'll know that they think my breath stinks, and I'll be like, oh shit, let me say that, oh man, my breath stinks. So it won't be such an awkward thing, because as an empath, you can pick up on when people like are acting a certain way, and by their body language you can like pick up on like what they're thinking of. Like, what's another like that was just a basic example, because I mean, I'm pretty sure we're not all perfect. So that's a basic example of body language. Like, you can, like, even if someone's being a little bit standoffish, like you can like pick up like, oh, maybe this person don't really too vibe with me, you know? Like, those are the kind of things that empaths can really pick up on. Just by how someone moves their body, they can be able to understand why they're doing it, because empaths are so in tune with their own physical being, their own energetic body, so they're able to understand and read other people's body language because they're so in tune with themselves. So that's the thing about body language and empaths. They can read you like a book. Like, if you're sitting around an empath and you may not be verbally saying something, but just by the way you move, they'll be able to understand exactly what you're thinking. You know, they can pick that shit up real quick. Like, it's not hard. It's just something that empaths have naturally within them to do. They can really read body language, and that's a very good skill to have, and you should be proud to be an empath, because not a lot of people have these skills, and that's very important. It could save you in a lot of more harsher situations. That skill can really come to your rescue in life, period. Okay, number 8. So people that are empathetic have experienced a lot of trauma and harsh situations in their life. They might have experienced a lot of things that they don't really know how to put into words, and they've been through a lot of stuff. These people might struggle so much with their emotional self and their internal selves that it just might turn into anxiety and depression. These things are very common for people that are empathetic, because people that are empathetic, normally the universe puts them in situations that they have to grow from. So for me, I've been through a lot of traumatic experiences in my life, and that's why I'm here to sit down and talk to you in this camera and really relate to people, because I have experienced a lot of trauma, anxiety, depression, and a lot of other mental setbacks in my life, definitely. So people that are empathetic, you have to understand that you're here for a greater purpose, and that those things that happen to you are just things that are there to make you stronger. Those situations that you go through are just there to, it's like the phoenix rising from the ashes kind of thing. Like, I'm definitely a prime example of that. Like, I have struggled so much with all these things that I never thought I would be able to sit here and talk to you about the things that I want to talk about and how to help and heal people. These are definitely things that empaths have been through. So if you suffer from any kind of depressive episodes or anxiety, stress, you know, just anything that comes to mind, definitely it's normal. It's definitely normal, because you are so attuned with your own feelings and emotions, sometimes you just dive really deep into them. So it's very normal, but don't get stuck there. Always remember that you have the power to drag yourself up out of that situation just by being aware that this is what you're doing. Okay, number 9th sign is that you are drawn to spirituality, the occult, metaphysics, astrology, science, mysticism, all these things. Empaths are very drawn to these things because they love to understand the world on a very deep level. So they want to understand these things, and they naturally become interested in these things. They naturally gravitate towards these things because they understand that in order to know thyself, they have to dig really deep. So stuff like astrology will become very important to them. Metaphysics, science, you know, anything that's occult. They might like reading tarot cards and all these things. They just love to be connected with the universe, spirituality, and the divine in the most purest way they can. So that's very important for empaths to understand, that if you are into these fields of study, that it's very normal and that it's stuff that you are naturally supposed to be drawn into. Empaths are people that are very, very, very creative people. They are into a lot of creative things. As you can see, me as an empath, I am creative in many different ways. I'm an artist, I'm a recording artist, I'm a YouTuber, I'm a makeup artist, I'm a performer. I do all different kinds of things. Anything that involves creativity, I'm there. So that's one thing as an empath. When you are so in tune with the world and people's emotions and how they feel, the creator naturally has gifted you with the power and the ability to self-express through creativity and the arts. You are a person that can draw, sing, dance, make YouTube videos, create anything, shirts, your own business. You're a very creative person as an empath because creativity is what drives humanity. And you know, self-expression, people being able to write poetry and being able to express themselves and having a thought from a higher dimension and willing it down into this dimension, the third dimension. As an empath, and as a person that knows and understands people's emotions and how people need to feel in order to feel good about themselves, how to help heal people, you are definitely an artist. You are definitely a creative person. And if that doesn't apply to you, it should, because everyone's a creator. You might just be a creative person, meaning you know how to create some good looking babies. You know, everyone is creative in some way. And as an empath, you have a heightened sense of creativity. You might be very well attuned to music. You might know how to read and hear music very well. Like, I'm very good at music. That's why I make really awesome music. Go check my shit out so you guys can be fans from day one. So when I do blow up, y'all be like, yeah, I did know her since day one. So like I said, people that are artistic are very empathetic people. And you got to understand that, because that's really what's gonna make the world a much better place. Okay, people that are empathetic are people that are natural counselors. Like, they is born counselors. They can counsel you like no other. If you're going through a problem, people naturally are drawn to you, and it's within you to just naturally want to help them. You don't see it as a burden. If someone wants to come and talk to you about their whole life story, it's like, all right, I'll just sit down and listen to you. Like, you don't even necessarily got to say something. But if you do, it's natural for you, and it's very much normal to want to help people and for people to come to you, because they can feel that warmth in you. They can see that sun, that sunshine, that star that you are. They can sense it from you. They feel that warmth, and they just want to be close to you, and they just want someone to understand them and hear and listen to them. There are definitely people in the world that can express forms of empathy, but they aren't necessarily empathetic people in general. And you, as an empathetic being, you naturally radiate this energy, so people gravitate towards you, and you are gifted with the ability to counsel and help people. So as an empath, you got to understand that people are going to naturally gravitate towards you, because that's just what you're here on earth, is to help and heal people and move society into a much better place and a much higher state of awareness and consciousness. So sign 12 is just piggybacking on that. It's basically you just will naturally want to go into the healing and health professions. You might be a nutritionist, you might be someone that's a dietitian, you might be a physical trainer, you might be a counselor, you might be a doctor, you might be a Reiki healer, you might be someone that does massage, you know. You might be a musician that likes to sing music that's very healing, very warm, something that touches the soul. You will definitely find, you might sell crystals. You might be someone that just sells natural scented oils or organic things. You're a farmer. You are a person that likes to be in that holistic environment, that feeling of giving back to people in a holistic and nurturing way. So as an empath, you definitely want to find a career or a job that allows you to express yourself in those ways. Now, sign number 13 that you are an empath is you don't like to be in a large room full of people. You don't like to be in crowded areas. You don't like to be in areas that got too much going on. Like, you might feel very claustrophobic, and you might just feel really agitated, and you probably aren't consciously aware that you're an empath. So this is me telling you why that is, why you don't like to be in large rooms. Is because you are literally a walking sponge. You can soak up people's emotions, energy, feelings, thoughts, all this shit so easily. So you do not like to be in large crowded areas. People that are empaths are usually homebodies. You can find them at home all the time. That's why meditation and finding time for yourself is a very important thing for an empath. Okay, so sign number 14, which is very important, is that you do not like strict and organized religion. You do not like any kind of indoctrination. Like, you like to be a free spirit, and you like to make the choices to be in any kind of spirituality or to develop any kind of ideology that you come across. You like to question things. You don't like to just be stuck and confined and conformed into one way of seeing the world. You like to explore and learn about this, learn about this religion, learn about that religion, learn about this science, learn about this spirituality. But you definitely don't like to be just stuck within one religion, because there's so many, and you don't understand why each religion always tells you that you have to pick one. You don't understand that, and then that's why you do get into like spirituality and stuff like that, because it taps you into a more profound and a more, you know, more divine and a more feminine energy. It's not so domineering, and it's not masculine, and it's not a lot of masculine energy like religion does, and you know, the religious God and all that. You don't really like that. As a person that's from a much younger generation, it's much easier for me to talk about these things because I'm not that indoctrinated as a lot of older people that I know in my life. It's very hard to talk to them about religion and spirituality because they don't understand how to separate the two. So yeah, if you're super empathetic, like I said, you know how to seep through bullshit really well, and you'll know that, you know, maybe that's outdated. Maybe I'm not supposed to be into those things anymore. Maybe that's not, maybe that you see the link between humanity and destruction and religion. Like, you see how these things are not helping us to evolve. So that's one thing that spirituality really helps with, is it nurtures everyone equally. No one, religion sometimes might discriminate against certain people. A lot of people will say that Christian people are very judgmental, and that is very true. They think that, you know, their God, whoever that is like the one and only God, and it's like, yes, that is true. There is only one God, but it's just the way they make it seem. Like, you don't like that. You like things to be much pure. You don't like for there to be ultimatums. You don't like for there to be right and wrongs. Like, you understand the balance and the equilibrium. You understand that there would be right, there would be no wrong without a right. There would be no right without a wrong. There would be no positive without a negative, and vice versa. When you're indoctrinated with religion, you don't understand that. You think something's either good or bad. You don't understand how to separate the two, and you don't understand how to look at something from a neutral point of view, and that's what spirituality will help you with. So people that are empathetic really appreciate spirituality, metaphysics, the occult, and all things that are hidden, because naturally at the end of the day, all these things that are hidden are honestly tools for you to become your greatest and higher self. And when you do figure out these things, you'll understand that you don't have to be a slave anymore. And that's what society doesn't want you to find out. They don't want you to find out that you do have these powers and that you do possess these gifts. So that's one thing I really wanted to make sure I put in this video, is that people that are empathetic, they don't like organized religions, period, point and blank. And if you do like organized religions, you probably have to do a lot more soul searching and figure out why you do. It's nothing wrong. Like I said, I don't believe in right and wrong. So maybe your spirit might just be here to experience that. My spirit isn't. My spirit is here to break down certain social constructions, and religion is one of them. So yeah. Alright, so last but not least on my list of signs that you are an empath is that you simply do not like to be controlled. You don't like to be told what to do. You like to have a mind of your own. You like to come to your own conclusions, and you like to make decisions for yourself. You probably struggle with having a boss. You probably struggle with working in groups. You can work in groups. It's not saying that you are a person that's completely rebellious, but you definitely have always, if not, have always wanted to have that, to be in control, have to be a leader, to be a person that is you know, in control of their own emotions, in control of what they do. Because like I said already, like, empaths don't like to be around a lot of people, so they don't really like a lot of people to basically harness their own energy and their own time. Empaths are people that like to be in control of their own time, their own situations. So these people might eventually start to do things on the side so that they can build up their own business or become entrepreneurs, period. So yeah, that's one thing about an empath, is they don't like to be controlled. They see through a lot of illusions, and they see that human beings are basically puppets and sheeps on the planet, and they try to help and change that. So they might be people that just don't want to conform to certain things in society. They want to develop their own structures. They want to develop, you know, their own jobs. They want to have their own businesses, and that's something that an empath really struggles with in this society. So yeah, that's pretty much all I have for signs that you are an empath. All of these are definitely relatable to me. Like I said, I will not make any videos and talk about things that I do not know about. So definitely watch this video again and share it with someone if you want to know if you're an empath, or if you just want to teach someone. If you see someone that's an empath and they probably aren't aware that they are, this video will definitely help them to understand who they are, and to help to enlighten them and bring them to a much higher state of consciousness and well-being. So thank you so much for watching this video. If you are an empath, please go ahead and share this video. And also, don't forget to leave me a comment down below, and please give me any suggestions that you may want to see. Like I've said already, don't be shy. I will reply to you, and I hope you have a nice day. And if you haven't subscribed to this channel, what are you waiting for? Go ahead and subscribe, like this video, and I will see you in the next one. Mwah! Goodbye.